There, everyone. Just want to tell you that my computer, my laptop, has locked itself out of my reach. I tried my passwords and it's not working. I don't know what happened. So I was not able to record video last night, Friday, and I will just now try this on the phone and just transfer it because you need to hear what's going on. First of all, I talked in my previous videos about sacral chakra guy. Please, I will put links below for those who do not have a track of what's going on, who didn't watch my previous videos. If you have a chance, just watch a little bit to see who he was, what was going on, and why I call him sacral chakra guy. Okay, he was a person that I cut connection with, on mutual terms, on mutual agreement, just the days before I met my manifested twin, and he was channeling at the same time, he was the person who was channeling my organic twin. So, this Friday, how to put things now, to explain to you what happened, to put things, long story short, is this Friday, this Friday, he came back, he came back to the place of worship, place where I pray. But before he did, I just wanted to say that a few days before he did, I had feeling that he was thinking about me. And in the past, when sacral chakra guy was in a strong relationship with me, in a strong connection with me, I was feeling him telepathically in my light body, very strongly in the sacral chakra and to the left of sacral chakra. I would feel strong, sharp, almost pain-like feeling, very quick and sharp, almost pain-like feeling when he was missing me, when he was thinking about me. And then also when we were together in 3D, when we were talking, when we were communicating or over the phone, which was rare because we usually communicated in person. He didn't like texting, I didn't like texting or talking too much on the phone. We would just meet and be in person together in 3D. So he was always in 3D describing, or I would describe to him, our 5D connection, our telepathy. Like I would say, did you think about me at that time, or did you think of that, this? And he would confirm. So that's how I had confirmation through him that not only my telepathy with him works, but as well as with my twin, that I was not making things up. So none of you are crazy out there if you feel certain things about your twins. It's really true. They're thinking about you, or you are right about things that they are trying to communicate to you. This is not a joke. You're not crazy. None of us is crazy. Telepathy is real. It's sometimes in a form of light body telepathy, which means in certain parts of your chakras you can feel telepathy. You can feel like cooling, like pooling in that area, certain sensations. Or simply mental telepathy, like, you can actually feel the thoughts they're thinking, exchanging with you, conversations, these 5D conversations they're trying to have with you, or you can try to have with them, and they will respond. Okay, so with Sacral Chakra Guide, not only that he helped me clear my bad negative energy from my past, from my karmic partner that was still lingering with me. The energy of my karmic partner was still lingering with me, but he also helped me understand this telepathy, how it works and how we are connected. So anyways, when we decided to call it quits and separate and do not see each other anymore, we both agreed on this mutually, but it was of course hard because our connection was still strong, especially I think he was getting stronger. I think he was, I know he was falling in love with me, which means his heart chakra was opening, and I had feelings about that, which I also shared in the previous videos. But however, we realized that in 3D we were not those people that would stay together, that had future together. So it was time to go different separate directions, and he was one who had more courage to put that on the table, and I agreed with him. But he was the one who told me that I was going to meet the manifested twin. He knew in 3D, Sacral Chakra guy knew about my organic twin. He knew about his existence. He saw his photo. He was always inquiring about him, saying, did he ever, what's new with him? Did he show up? Is he still hiding? Is he still, running? And so he knew about my organic twin, but he told me that I was going to meet someone new. It was going to be someone, special, someone for marriage. And so I did not believe him at the moment. I kind of wanted to believe him, but I still was like, it was hard to hear from him when he said that on our parting time, that he said, you will meet someone in one of these days. And then, as I also mentioned in the videos about us parting, which was just previous to this, he did see his picture of my manifested twin, because I already met him online just days before, and I told him, how about this guy? And when he saw his photo, he said he confirmed that that was the guy. So anyways, after that, Sacral Chakra guy did not show up in my life actively anymore. We did not text each other anymore. We kept promise of our, we kept our deal clean, and we did not see each other, although he lives in the same city as I do. And then weeks after we split, I saw him. But why is this important to mention? Why I saw him at the mosque is that in the past he did not attend services at the mosque. He was not as religious as I am. He did attend mosque and was very active in his past, in his youth. I mean, he's still young, he's only 27, but I mean, in the past when he lived in Afghanistan, he was very active participant in prayers, and he prayed on time. But now somehow, just before he met me in 3D, before we met, he's new to the United States, and he is focusing on job and school and everything, and he was kind of slacking in that department. He did not attend Friday prayer, which is basically obligatory for a Muslim man, and I felt discouraged about that. I told him that I wish he was more careful about his spiritual side. And on the time when we parted, I asked him, I told him I was worried that he would seek out unclean ways of being with a woman in a way that would not lead him to spiritual or physical purity, and that he will I was afraid that he would completely disregard his faith, his spiritual path. And he said that he promises me that something like that will not happen, that in love with me, that he feels for me this special sacrificial love he never liked to talk about, but I felt from him that he was ready to even sacrifice our relationship and go separate ways for the good of both and for the good of the entire, mission of Twin Flames, because he knew that he was channeling my twin flame, but he was not my actual twin flame. He decided to sacrifice our relationship and our love, even though it was working, even though it had challenges too, but it was beautiful at the same time. Our connection was really strong, especially at the moment we decided to part. So he said, in the name of that love, he feels he will not stop being spiritual. Actually, he will try better to be more spiritual. So A few weeks after we took different directions and stopped texting each other or meeting ever again, I took a glance of him at the mosque where I pray, where he knew that I went there, and he did not approach me or anything. He just drove his car past by me, and I saw him in the car, and he did not wave, I did not wave. I was just happy to see that he did really attend the services. That was a few weeks after we kind of broke up our relationship. Now, as my relationship with Manifested Twin has become stronger and deeper not on daily basis, but on hourly basis, it's becoming strong. And it's not becoming strong, but it is strong from the moment one. It's incredible, and I explained that in video previous to this one, how our telepathy on all level works, how all of our chakras are ignited and working and spinning, and everything is wow, but we are not in the same physical, you're not in a position to be physically right now together because we're in two separate countries. Everything else, 5D, telepathy of all kinds, of all sorts, from mental, sacral, heart, root, solar plexus, all of our chakras are extremely connected, and we can feel each other completely. So that's about Manifested Twin. My organic twin is not showing up at all, which I think is the reason, because if he did, he would completely, something would, I don't understand. He's not running anymore. He used to push and pull and come and go and come and go and show up and not show up and be scared. Now he's completely withdrawn. He almost he does not exist anymore in 3D. Although he does exist. I happen to know through his friends and relatives he's still somewhere. He's here, but he's completely hidden from 3D reality, from my 3D reality. So what happened this Friday was interesting. I came to the mosque, and my manifested twin, who lives in another country in Bangladesh, he was extremely sick for the past week. He's going through extreme purging, both mental, physical, and spiritual, and in physical and 3D form. He's really sick, extreme purging, which I did go through just 2 weeks before that. In other words, we have a same type of flu, although we are a health planet away from each other, almost as if he picked up my own flu, and there's no such flu in his country going on right now. But here's an epidemic in the United States, and I have a flu, and he got the same flu. That he spent time 2 weeks ago on the phone with me, helping me to go through the night with my fever, and now he's having a fever. So he's going through heavy purging, and I was really worried about him for these past 2 weeks. And then, so he was very bad, in bad condition, just before Friday and Thursday, and he told me he was having a hard time talking on the phone. His throat was very sore. And I know how he felt because I had the same flu just 2 weeks before that. I was very sick. So I told him to sleep, to get some rest, and he wanted to sleep. And weather in his country is very hot, so it's very hard with his high fever. So he went to sleep, and I went to the mosque. And when I came to the mosque, it was packed with people because it's Ramadan. It's holy month of Ramadan. Last 10 days of Ramadan was hitting hard. It was last 9 days of Ramadan when I came on Friday. And who do I find in the mosque? I find my organic twin's mother and sister praying right next to me, like shoulder to shoulder. We spoke after the prayer. They do not absolutely mention my organic twin. There's no word about him. It's kind of like a taboo to talk about him. They did, greet me and ask me how I was, but they avoid any further conversation, eye contact, almost as if they're hiding something about him. And I do not want to poke in it, because I know the divine timing is not right to deal with that right now, to poke too deep. If they don't want to talk about him, then I guess he's not in a 3D available right now. So, as I said in previous video, love your twin so unconditionally that you actually let them be free if they want to be free in that way, free from you. So I talked to shortly greet my organic twins mother and sister, and then someone announced downstairs that there will be in the mosque, there will be conversion to Islam, that someone will embrace Islam, a young man. He came to the mosque, and a lot of people gathered around him. And there was they created a circle set around him, and everybody was very excited. So I looked through the we are on the balcony, sort of like, like in a theater, you have balconies, or in basketball games, you have special balconies for sort of like VIP membership. That's how I always feel in the mosque. It's very special. We are on a higher level. And so I'm looking from there, and I took my phone out to record the happy event. And I see a young man sitting down in the circle, and he took his phone out and he's recording the happy event. And he's happy, and he looks fresh and, freshly shaved, and his hair is cut freshly, and he's recording the event. And who it is, who do I see, is my sacral chakra guy. And I try telepathy one more time. I look at him. He's looking into a young man converting, embracing Islam, listening to what Imam is talking to him, what he's asking him, why is he embracing Islam, what drew him to this, what is attracted him to our spiritual path. And the young boy is explaining, everybody's listening, and sacral chakra guy is listening. And I try to telepathically call on him to look up. And at that moment, he turns his face, he looks up at me, and he was basically a little bit startled, surprised. But then he turned his head back to camera to keep recording, but then he gave me that big smile that he would always give me every time we saw each other. And so I knew that our connection was not really lost. And 2 days before this happened, before this Friday, on the radio, the songs that would always play when we were gonna meet, when I felt he was thinking about me, the songs that manifested were always the song Greatest by Sia, which really was a song that we always talked about, and it was like he would think about me when he was listening to that song. I would think about him, and then we would call each other, or either telepathically or by 3D, by phone. And the song, the other one, I will post the link below, which is song, the one that says, everything comes back to you. And so those are his feelings. He expressed those feelings through those two songs to me. His own actual feelings to me. But I told you guys that he also channeled my organic twin. And when he channeled my organic twin, sometime he would tell me those things that I actually already heard from my twin in our conversations, in our short conversations. When he was in denial that we had connection, and then he would say things like, sort of as harsh as sounding as, I do not love you, I do not know you, I am not ready, I am not in a position, I am focused on something else right now, blah, blah, blah. So he would say exact same words. That's how I noticed he was channeling my twin, because
no two human beings repeat the same sentences and same exact phraseology. Like even people who live in the same household sometimes talk differently, although sometimes they have similarities. So these two guys don't even know each other, and he would repeat exactly the same sentences. So I know that was not only that. Of course, there was also songs that he would play for me, as I mentioned before. Anyways, when he channeled my twin flames denial, my twin flames struggle, he also channeled things that were unsaid between me and my organic twin. He would finish our conversations that me and my twin had. So sacral chakra guy would channel sort of like closures for those conversations and stuff. But on his own, this sacral chakra guy was very, very softly attached to me and connected to me, and so we would have wonderful moments together, and then very harsh moments when I had to listen to these channelings, and I had to endure that. And as for the love of my twin, for the love of source, for the love of unconditional love, I was taking that as part of unconditional love, listening to those words, and then he would turn sweet and nice again, and so on. But I did not let my ego jump in there and get angry at him or something. I would just let him say what he needed to say. So now I was hoping that the sacral chakra guy would actually really turn to source and be who he is, because he's very sweet and wonderful person. And so seeing him this Friday, it was so fulfilling, and that he smiled at me, and that we will always have that unconditional love between us, even though we decided not to stay together, which is another way of unconditional love. We let each other go in the most perfect way, like best friends, like good friends, as we did from the start. We never promised anything, we never had any strings attached, we always were really just very close friends, and our pull, our attraction was undeniable, and I do not regret any second spent with sacral chakra guy, nor do I regret also parting with him. I'm very happy that I was able to see him yesterday, and I know out of his unconditional love he's doing this also on purpose, because there's many mosques. There's 12 different mosques in this valley, in this state that we live in, the United States, mashallah. And so alhamdulillah, he could have gone to a different mosque, but he came to the one that he knows I attend, but not trying to reconnect in a way of like talking again or anything, just kind of be there for me. And he knows that I've seen him, and I know that he was there. So that was wonderful. That was really wonderful. And then when I came home, I was called back to work, so I had to go work at my company. And also divine intervention happened, because I had some trouble at the company day before, nothing personal, just some prejudice against me, against my veil. And the district manager, she showed up basically at our store, and I could tell she didn't like me, not to me, for me, because she didn't even had courtesy to introduce herself or share any even thoughts with me. Or sorry, I'm by the library right now. So anyway, she came into our store, and I had a feeling that she will find any way to discontinue my employment there. But my first manager and all of my other employers, they love me, customers love me. So I was just hoping for something, a divine intervention day after, and it did happen. They really needed me at company, and I showed up, even though I was scheduled to be off that day, and everybody became very grateful for my help. But I had to work, and my phone was off, and when I came home, I found 28 messages from my manifested twin, and I will share these with you at the end of this video, so you can see actually what is divine masculine channeling to you. These are messages from divine masculine for all of you collectively. So I will post the text at the end of this video for you to see what divine masculine has to say to his divine feminine. I wish you all happy end of Ramadan. Even if you're not Muslim, please realize that this is the time when we say in Islam that the last 10 days of Ramadan, angels come down and listen to the wishes and supplications of those who pray. And so make your wishes, make your manifestation come true. You have a chance in these 10 days. Basically, the fifth dimension lowers down to 3D is what we would say, and so use this time, especially at night. During the night, there is gonna be a one night which is called Night of Destiny, the Laylatul Qadr, and nobody knows which night of the last 10 days is that night, but it's one of the odd days, either 21st, 23rd, 25th, 27th, or 29th. It's left to you to feel it in the air, because it's something that I've experienced after every Ramadan. There is a divine night on one of these odd nights, and you will feel it in your bones. You will feel it everywhere in the ether. There will be divine peace around you, serenity on that night. So please, that night, use it for prayers. Pray for your twin, pray for your reunion, and pray for my reunion in 3D, which has already happened in 4th and 5th dimension. It's time for 3D reunion, so I can have stronger, that me and my twin can have that energy that heals, that we can create more healing energy to help others, which is the mission of Twin Flames after all, to reunite, to create love, not to create love. Love is already created by the source, but to make that love amplified and then used for healing of this planet and everyone around us, for peace and love and unconditional love and beauty. Love you all. Peace be upon you. Assalamu alaikum.